This adventurous story begins by showing an unknown man who is looking for his little son, Adam, in the forest. Along with him is his elder son, Clint, who is helping him search for Adam. Adam was very scared, which made him vulnerable to danger. After a lot of searching, the man finally finds his little son Adam, and he hugs him tightly before taking him back home. However, Adam is looking around the entire forest in a very strange way. There is no one around, but his gaze is constantly fixed in one direction. As time passes, we are shown Adam, who has grown up. Both Adam and Clint's father had passed away many years ago. Adam had gone to the city to complete his studies, and after many years, he was returning to the village to meet his brother Clint. Adam was very happy about this because his best childhood friends were here. Adam remembers every detail about his village, so he heads straight to Clint's house. Clint is very happy to see Adam and congratulates him on completing his university selection. Adam had to meet some friends to discuss his university, so he was about to leave when Clint invited him for dinner, where everyone would enjoy together. Adam agrees and leaves to join them. It's now night, and Clint and his wife, Sophie, are waiting for Adam. Clint has two mischievous children. After a short while, Adam enters and sits down with them for dinner. Sophie tells Adam that his visit has made Clint very happy, and he wants him to stay in the village after finishing his studies. But Adam knows that the village lacks resources. It becomes clear that Adam and Clint do not get along. They have always had different mindsets. Clint, being the eldest son, would go hunting with their father, while Adam believes that killing animals is wrong and would never do it. Because of this, Adam prefers to stay peacefully at home. Clint, on the other hand, would often tease Adam for this. Now, in the present day, after dinner, Adam enters a storeroom where Clint had taken out all his hunting gear. Adam is surprised to see that Clint still has an interest in these things. When Adam picks up a map, he notices many marks on it, indicating that Clint is still following the hunting routes his father had taught him, perhaps to fulfill his own desires. Adam was supposed to meet his childhood friends, but Clint insisted that he come quickly because he had planned a hunting trip and wanted Adam to join him. They used to take the same trips when they were kids, and today, Adam wanted to relive those memories. He didn't refuse his elder brother Clint's plan and headed out with him. Adam was enjoying himself with his childhood friends and also told them about how Clint wanted to take him to a mountain nearby, where they would hunt just like they did in their childhood. But one of Adam's friends warned him that no one had ever returned alive from that mountain, meaning it was extremely dangerous. Adam, however, didn't believe in these superstitions because he trusted only science. He didn't believe in ghosts, spirits, or negative energies. Despite his friends' warnings, Adam decided to go and spend time with Clint. But that night, as Adam slept, he started having strange visions. In these visions, he saw his younger self on the same mountain they were planning to hunt on. Adam was terrified because these visions had never occurred before, only after arriving here did they begin. The next day, Adam and Clint began gathering all the hunting gear and preparing to leave for the mountain. Clint helped Adam with packing his things and explained what was necessary to carry. Clint even took Adam's backpack and packed it according to his own knowledge, as he was more experienced in hunting. This made Adam angry because Clint always dominated him. Adam had always resented the fact that after their father's death, all the property and possessions were left to Clint, and nothing was left for him. This was why Adam had gone to the city to make a name for himself. Clint, however, didn't care about such things. After preparing, Clint took Adam to the hunting grounds. After walking for a while, they decided to continue on foot, as the path ahead led through a dense forest, which they needed to cross to catch their prey. Clint wanted to hunt deer, which were found in large numbers in this area. He kept advising Adam to shoot any deer they saw, suggesting they should kill them on sight. Clint was skilled in shooting, but Adam's aim wasn't as good. Still, Adam decided to move forward with Clint. After a while, Adam became very tired and decided to sit down in one spot, asking Clint to go ahead and hunt alone. Clint ventured a little further into the forest on his own, but soon began to hear strange sounds coming from deep within the woods. These noises didn't sound like any animal Clint had heard before, and he started to feel scared. He quickly left the forest and returned to the rocky area where he sat down with Adam. Adam, sensing something odd, asked Clint if he had heard the same strange sounds. He also mentioned that his friends had warned him about this place, telling him that anyone who entered never came back. Clint, however, brushed off Adam's concerns, explaining that people often make up stories, and there was no need to worry. They should just enjoy their hunting. Later that night, they set up camp, made a bonfire, and relaxed. Clint, still having doubts, asked Adam if he had heard any strange noises, but Adam hadn't. Adam, ignoring Clint's words, decided to sleep. After resting for a few hours, Adam too started hearing the same noises. He became scared and woke Clint, suggesting they should leave because it sounded like a dangerous animal might be lurking. However, after a brief investigation, they discovered that the sounds were coming from a black squirrel. Clint laughed at Adam for being so scared and made fun of him. The two of them eventually went back to sleep. The next morning, when Adam didn't wake up, Clint had to physically wake him up. Adam, in that moment, began reflecting on his childhood when Clint used to always bother him and even hit him. Despite all these years, Clint had not changed at all, and Adam often used to complain about this behavior to their parents. Adam's father had always taken Clint's side, and the reason for that was Clint's ability to hunt, which was similar to their father's. Clint became better at it, and the parents always supported him. Adam, on the other hand, was left alone. This brings us back to the present scene where both brothers are moving through the forest, guns in hand, ready to shoot a deer. Suddenly, they begin to hear some noises. They sit and aim at the source of the sound. Clint thinks it's a deer and prepares to shoot, but the size of the creature seems much larger and more dangerous than a deer. Clint gets scared and starts to back off. However, before he could move farther, Adam shoots the creature. As they approach each other, Clint asks Adam if it was a deer or another animal. Adam, who had fired the shot, replies that he aimed at its chest, so it must be injured and won't be able to go too far. But suddenly, the same mysterious sound starts again, causing Adam to panic. He doesn't understand what's going on and asks Clint whose noise it could be. There are no squirrels in sight to explain it, but Clint has no idea either. He tells Adam not to think too much about it and suggests they leave the area and set up camp outside the dense forest for the night. Though Adam and Clint hadn't spoken much in years, in this moment, they had a conversation because there was no one else around. Clint then asks Adam why he came back to the village after so many years of silence. Adam had severed all ties with the village and never called. Adam explains that he came back to feel the environment of the village again, something he couldn't find in the city. In fact, he even wanted to meet his father, but it was because of Clint that he hadn't returned earlier. Their relationship as children wasn't great, and at one point, Adam had hated Clint and decided never to be part of his life. But after their father's death, Adam was deeply affected and made the decision to return to the village. Clint reassures Adam, saying that those things happened years ago, and he has changed. He's now trying to be a good older brother. Clint, not showing any ego, openly shares his feelings with Adam. Adam begins to feel a little better about the situation. That night, when Adam falls asleep, he starts to have the same strange visions again, where he sees his younger self in the same forest. His eyes turn completely black, and he becomes disoriented, unable to make sense of what's happening. But after a short while, he snaps out of the vision and wakes up suddenly. The next morning, both brothers set off again. To embark on their new hunt, Adam and Clint first climbed a small hill, and after clearing it, they entered a forest zone. Both of them carried their own guns, ready to shoot at any movement. As they traveled, they came across a cave, which looked very strange because there were deer antlers hung around it. Clint felt a sense of dread and was hesitant, but Adam, without thinking much, headed toward the cave as though he had been there before. Clint, worried for their safety, tried to stop Adam, urging him to stay away from the cave, as it seemed too dangerous. Despite Clint's warnings, Adam continued forward, but as he moved, his foot slipped, and he fell, injuring his hand severely. Clint rushed to help him, realizing that Adam's hand was broken and needed immediate attention. Clint quickly wrapped a cloth around Adam's hand and decided they should move away from the dangerous spot and camp elsewhere. While resting, Adam asked Clint why he had stopped him from entering the cave. He wondered if they could have explored it to find out what was inside. He described how strange and oddly shaped figures were around the cave. Clint didn't have an answer, only feeling that there was something dangerous inside. He simply didn't want to take the risk of putting their lives in danger. Adam then asked Clint why he had mentioned that he had been to this place before. Adam couldn't explain, as he had seen the place in his dreams but didn't understand how it was connected to reality. Clint shared a story from many years ago, back when Adam and Clint were kids hunting with their father. There had been a moment when Adam went missing in the forest. They searched for him, and eventually, Adam returned in the night. After that incident, Adam's behavior had changed. He became more aggressive and began speaking in mysterious ways. Adam didn't believe Clint's story and thought that his brother was just trying to scare him again. He remained calm, started a fire, and tried to enjoy the evening. But then, unexpectedly, an eerie figure appeared behind Adam. The strange creature immediately attacked him, grabbing him and pulling him away. Clint was terrified but rushed to Adam's aid. He grabbed onto Adam's body, preventing the creature from taking him further. In the process, both brothers got a clear look at the creature, whose body seemed humanoid but vastly unnatural. Clint quickly carried Adam to a lower path, trying to get him to a safer spot. Knowing the creature would likely come after them, Clint tried calling for help, but the signal didn't reach. He decided to leave Adam behind and go further up to try and find a place with signal. Unfortunately, he still couldn't get through to anyone. Meanwhile, the creature was heading straight toward Adam, who, with his broken hand, couldn't defend himself. The creature grabbed him and began dragging him away. Hearing Adam's cries, Clint rushed down, following the creature's trail. He saw that the creature had taken Adam into the cave. This time, Clint ventured inside, despite his fear. The cave was filled with deer antlers, and there, Clint saw his brother Adam, whose eyes had turned pitch black, and his body was covered in antlers. It looked like the creature was performing some kind of ritual on him. Clint attempted to free his brother, but before he could reach him, the creature appeared in front of him. The sight of it terrified Clint, and he ran out of the cave, leaving Adam behind. He couldn't just let his brother die, so he decided to wait until morning. He tried calling his wife, but due to the poor signal, she couldn't hear him properly. Despite this, Clint promised her that he would return and save Adam. The next day, Clint drove a mountain vehicle toward the cave. When he entered, he found the place empty. Adam was gone, and there was no sign of the creature either. Panic set in as Clint searched frantically, but after some time, Adam appeared. He seemed completely normal, but when Clint looked into his eyes, they were completely black, just like before. Adam seemed eager to leave the area, but Clint couldn't shake off the growing fear of what had truly happened to his brother. Clint's anger and grief over losing Adam were overwhelming, especially after seeing his brother's body covered in antlers, signaling his death. In a fit of rage, he loaded Adam's body onto his truck and left the forest, heading straight to his wife. Clint was devastated, unable to understand how things had gone so horribly wrong. But when he arrived and was about to tell his wife everything, including the tragic death of Adam, he turned around to find Adam standing right there, alive and well. This left Clint utterly confused, as he couldn't understand how his brother was alive. The truth, however, was far more sinister. Clint's perception was being manipulated by the alien creature, which had powers to alter memories and reality itself. The creature had used this power on Clint, making him relive the traumatic events in a distorted way. This phenomenon had happened before when Adam got lost in the forest as a child and encountered the creature. At that time, the creature had cast a spell on Adam, but being a child, Adam had managed to escape. However, the surrounding people believed that anyone who entered that part of the forest never returned, thinking it was simply a dangerous place. In reality, the creature existed and had supernatural abilities that allowed it to control anyone who ventured too close. It could trap their minds and alter their memories, leading them to experience illusions. Clint had fallen victim to this same manipulation. The creature had taken control of his mind, creating false memories of Adam's death and manipulating his grief. When Clint thought he was rescuing his brother, he was in fact being further ensnared by the creature's powers. The moment Clint turned and saw Adam alive, he realized that the brother standing before him wasn't really Adam. The creature had used Clint's deepest emotions and memories against him, and the figure he saw was merely a manifestation created by the creature. Clint's realization hit him hard. He had been manipulated all along, and the reality he had perceived was nothing but a lie. Both he and Adam had become pawns in the creature's supernatural game, and Clint's attempt to save his brother had only led him deeper into the creature's control. After entering the cave, when the creature attacked, Clint opened his eyes outside. When he went to check, he discovered that his brother was dead. In the end, when he brought his brother's dead body to show his wife, he found Adam completely fine and alive. This proves that Clint is still under the control of that creature. All of these things were shown to them by the creature, which had trapped them badly in its control. This means that everyone who comes to this forest gets trapped in the creature's grip in the same way. The truth is that whoever enters this forest never returns. Adam and Clint never made it out after leaving the cave. This was a reality they didn't know. Maybe their father had known about it and had hinted at it during their childhood, but Adam and Clint were too young at that time to believe in these things. But now, the result is that both of them are caught in the same danger. Perhaps now, escaping from there will be absolutely impossible because the creature is completely elusive. It is beyond the ability of an ordinary human to destroy this creature. And this creature has captured two brothers who, after so many years, had come so close to each other. This means that there is no longer any enmity between Adam and Clint, and they were ready to forget everything from the past. But now, their lives are about to end. Perhaps this creature can never be defeated, and this is where our story ends.